Each month, I should say, that's what I get for eating and munching. Our Hungry Hound visits a local hot dog joint, introducing us to the classics as well as some newcomers.
And this week he checks out a homegrown concept where the Chicago dog is just a fraction of what's on the menu. Steve found that you can bite into well over a dozen styles of dogs from all over the country.
Sure, there are plenty of hot dog stands in Chicago, but only one claiming to serve dogs from around the country. At America's Dog, with 3 locations in the city, they offer 17 varieties every day. The idea for the company stemmed from a brotherly road trip after college.
Basically, we drove around the United States, and as we went to Dallas and Houston and LA, we noticed that each city had its own way of making their hot dogs. And my brother, being a chef, he wrote down the recipes and took notes of it. He's like, you know, there is a concept here.
But any stand worth its celery salt begins with a Chicago dog, and so here they make the classic, a skinless Vienna beef, either regular, 8 to a pound, or jumbo, 5 to a pound, nestled into a steamed Rosen's poppy seed bun, then topped with the works, including mustard, tomatoes, relish, onions, 4 peppers, a pickle, spear, and celery salt. Nearly half of their sales are Chicago dogs, but some of the others are catching on.
When you go to Charleston, they're topping it with coleslaw.
Plus chili, onions, and mustard. Same goes for a Dallas dog, but instead of coleslaw, it's shredded cheese. A Milwaukee is simply a charred brat with brown mustard and a healthy hunk of sauerkraut, while the Des Moines is a county fair classic, a corn dog. Even Buffalo, home of the famous chicken wings, has their own style dog.
We went to Buffalo and we had blue cheese put on a hot dog with a hot sauce on it.
And just a dusting of celery salt for good measure. They also have wraps, sandwiches, and Italian beef, but it's the dogs and cheddar fries they come for, hoping perhaps to get a distant taste of somewhere else.
Barbecue sauce in Louisiana. Those are kinds of things that you normally wouldn't see in Chicago.
That Louisiana dog, by the way, also has grilled onions and tomatoes on it. Now, the owners aren't limiting their dog adventure to the Loop. They've got 2 other locations, including this one here in Lincoln Park. They hope that as demand for dogs from around the country increases, so too will their locations. In Lincoln Park, Steve Dolinsky, ABC 7 News.
And Steve says one of the reasons they went with a skinless dog was to make them easier for children to eat. So here's the information. Yep. America's Dog, 26 East Randolph Street, 312-345-0100. Also 2300 North Lincoln Avenue, 773-281-2333. Plus, they have a location on Navy Pier. If you want more information about America's Dog or some of the other hot dog stands Steve has featured over the past few months, go to our website, abc7chicago.com, or call the Hound info line at 312-750-7096. And boy, did they bring us some goodies, huh? Some of the different kinds, yes.
They also have these wraps.
Which are delicious.
Which is like, there, can you see that? Look at that wrap. Okay, now let's look at some of these different hot dogs. All right, so let's see, we're trying to remember now. This
that
one,
like a Chicago, right?
Chicago. We know this one is the Milwaukee, right? Yep. And this one is the Maxwell Street.
Yep.
And we've been munching here on these cheese sticks.
And that dipping sauce is good.
And what's this one?
That one is the Des Moines dog, right?
Right,
it's a corn dog.
Right.
And then he's got the salad.
There's salads also, and more. Look at this.
More, and really good curly fries.
Curly fries, right? Look at all these different kinds, too. And we've got the classic Chicago right here.
And
you saw people eating them, but you know, even with the wraps, even if you tilt your head like this, you still can't get your mouth around it.
But you can sure try, and she is.
Good.
It's always hard for people at home to watch, because we're eating all this good food. So anyway, all that information on our website, as we said. In the meantime, there is much more ahead on the news at 11.